I get nervous in front of, so I have cue cards. Most of you see me without cue cards, but he's the reason why these cue cards are there. The next person is a person, when you talk about fashion, beauty and culture colliding, she's become the northern star that guides. She stopped every chart in India and now she's making India proud. You know, I know you're excited to see her. I know you don't even need the introduction. So I'm just going to skip to the very end and say she's the Rani of a billion young hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for Alia Bhatt. And I've left him for the last. Guys, you need to be silent and let me finish these introductions. Otherwise, they'll say, for Karan, you gave such a long introduction, for us it's only one line. But this man is a person whose energy I think all of us out here and on screen cannot match. He's the living embodiment of a Bollywood movie on a caffeine high. He's a force of energy, a fireball of talent, and a man who defines the very word entertainment. From the swagger of Bittu Sharma to the formidable warrior Bajirao Mastani, and from Kabir Mehra to Kapil Dev, he breathes life into every character he embraces. The very definition, in my humble opinion, of Bollywood's irrepressible spirit. After you, wherever. Calm here. There was, yeah, but that's okay, wherever. The director got it. The director directed it eventually. Yes, well, thank you. I promise that was not planned. But thank you for doing this, the three of you. It means a lot. And you know, the really exciting part about this is I love the energy out here. But there are 50,000 of these that are online from Srinagar, as you will see on the screen, from Srinagar to Kanyakumari and Agartala to Ahmedabad. A huge round of applause for all those guys on the screen. Yeah. From the Zoom, yeah. Yeah, look. You know, and I want to start with, I told them right at the start that the three of you think that these are the smartest young people in the country and the smartest young people in the country, so we should be well behaved. But as soon as the three of you came out, then I think everybody got into the Bollywood spirit that we so much love. But let me start by asking you this. You know, I yet have nervous energy when I go back to school because you are standing in front of your school principal. Here you're not standing in front of principals from one school, but you're standing in principals from 100 plus cities and 100 plus principals who are in front of us. Ma'am, it wasn't me. How does it feel to go back to school?
I think we should really ask this question first to Alia because it's more recent in her memory. My school memories date back 36 years. So Alia, how does it feel to go back to school? She's a proud Jamna by...
Yeah, I'm a Jamna by I. But to me, like, my school time was the best memories I made. I have sometimes like vivid dreams about, you know, hanging out with my friends by the water cooler and PT class and bunking class and all this stuff. And I actually, my grain of being an actor started from there. I did all that theatre and like, you know, participated in all possible competitions. It feels great to be back to school. I always get nervous in front of principals, so I will always say good morning ma'am, good morning sir, and try and just stay out of the way because actually I'm very naughty at heart.
And what about Ranveer?
All you naughty kids, if you're naughty, it's okay.
You believe that?
You might turn out all right.
You were also naughty, I feel.
You think?
Yeah.
I was a terror.
Actually, you were telling us something very important right now in the green room. Why
Yeah,
don't we share that with everyone?
Yeah, I used to participate in Model United Nations. I was a very accomplished delegate. Multiple time best delegate winner. Ranveer Singh.
Wow, wow. No, but you know, and Karan, I want to ask you this: you've been a principal to generations of Bollywood stars, whether it's Alia, whether it's Ranveer, whether it's anybody else. Therefore, I'm not going to start with you right now, and I'm going to first ask this to Ranveer and Alia. How is Karan Johar as the principal of a movie? Is he like the strict Amitabh Bachchan from Mohabbati? Or is he like the dramatic Miss Braganza from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai? Who is Karan Johar as the principal of a movie?
आप बताएं, what do you think? Is he Prerna Pratishtha or Anushasan? Or is he Miss Braganza? Aha!
Okay, I think Karan is Karan. There's no one like Karan. We need to make a new character for him. Huh?
Well said. I think Karan is no school principal. Karan is a student of life, art and creativity.
Now they put Karan on a pedestal which is compared to nobody else. But you deserve it. Karan, therefore my question to you is
But
cinema.
I'll tell you why I say that. It's because here's one man, if I know one, who wears his stature very, very lightly. He's one of the most eminent and prominent figures in the history of Indian entertainment. His contribution cannot be emphasized enough, and he's still going. In fact, he's just getting started. But he's so cool and casual about it, you know. He never imposes his stature upon you. He always speaks to you like an equal. He has respect for everybody. He treats everybody the same. And he is one of the most remarkable individuals that I've had the good fortune of knowing and collaborating with.
How lovely. Huge round of applause for Karan Johar. Now I have many a story about the same thing where he's essentially a person who is approachable, and when you meet him at that juncture, of course when you see him, you know it's Karan Johar, but if he were just to simply talk to you, you would say that, you know, this is another person who believes in young India and therefore is able to make movies that young India loves. You know, so thank you Karan for doing what you do. But let me come to this. Many say that cinema is a reflection of society, but I personally think that society is also a reflection of cinema. And it influences young impressionable minds. Today, with the advent of OTT, it is allowed for creative freedom, but many people feel that it's redefining the cultural fabric of our country. What are your thoughts about this? And put Rocky and Rani in context, your new film in context of this.
What a loaded question to begin with. And it's critical to answer this from the most honest space possible. So firstly, I do believe that cinema is a reflection of society and vice versa, because it also draws from, literally sometimes they say that, you know, there's an exaggeration in Indian cinema, but a lot of those situations depicted on celluloid are actually very, very close to reality. And as a filmmaker, I've only drawn from human observation of the community that surrounds me, the society we live in, the people I interact with. It's very critical that you understand the syntax of your surroundings, and then as a writer, as a filmmaker, you tell that story. Of course, some of us who've grown up in urban India have a certain understanding of those dynamics and relationships. And there are some others who are privileged enough to actually be exposed to the rest of India, can tell those stories with equal abandon. I do believe that the content today is definitely broadening the human spectrum where it comes to, I think, relationships and pushing the envelope and not sugarcoating it and not doing puff pieces of love and romance. We are showing the grey areas, and you have to know, as students, you have to know that life is way beyond black and white. We walk the path of grey every day, and that's not a bad thing, because grey is a representation of your vulnerable side, of your true side. And I think whether it's OTT platforms, streaming services, or new age cinema, all of that actually exposes the vulnerabilities of human beings. And I think that's the strength of our content today. It's not about depicting dark characters and pushing the boundaries where it comes to showing things that are explicit. It's really actually about showing the grey. I've seen so many series actually that just speak about the grey. In cinema though, we like the larger than life, over the top, melodramatic storytelling, which also what audiences want when they go into a cinema hall. They don't want to see that the harsh realities of life. They do want to see the celebration of life. Rocky or Rani Kii Prem Kahaani is way beyond just being a Prem Kahaani. It actually speaks about so many things, which is not reflective in the promotions of the film or the content and units that we put out there. It's actually talking about so much more. It's probably, I think, my most commentary-based film, but it's not in the garb of anything preachy. It's actually in the garb of entertainment, which is the best way I believe that you can actually express something, is actually coat it with entertainment and it gets better understood. Maverick filmmakers like Rajkumar Hirani have actually done that so beautifully, and this film is actually a step in that right direction. When you see the character of Rocky and Rani and their individual families, there's a lot to kind of absorb and learn, but also be very humored by. It's a film that I was actually dying to tell, and sequences in the film will remain with me as my most favorite moments in my trajectory as a filmmaker.
Wow, so this is by far,
And what a huge honor it is for us to be a part of that. I mean, it's Karan Johar. This is the maker of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham. Like, these are iconic films that we've grown up on. So for you to say that means a lot, Karan.
And I do believe that. And I also feel like I've grown as an individual from the first film to this, because when I remember I made Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and I firmly believe that the gender politics of that film are all wrong. They're all wrong. It is propagating incorrect gender politics, because it's about, there is a lot of surfaceness in that film. But of course you have nostalgia, so you love it. But you don't scratch the surface of the film and see that what Rahul is doing is actually not something that I wish the Rahuls in this audience, representing all the boys in this audience, would be.
Woke zamane mein nahi chalti kuch kuch.
It's not about the woke, it's about what the dynamics you show in cinema and how it is a strong representation of how it can translate into belief today. Rahul was like saying all wrong things. He was saying, "Hum ek hi baar jeete, ek baar marte." That's what everybody knows. "Hum ek baar pyar karte," but he got in love twice. "Hum ek baar shaadi karte," he got married twice. So he was contradicting himself through the film. And then I remember Shabana asked me,
"Don't you cancel my Rahul."
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was one of the best movies that you've seen.
No.
Yeah.
It's one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
No, I think he means like if you were to release that
Yes.
today, a lot of those points would come across.